Welcome to today's video. We're uncovering how a modest credit score boost, especially crossing the 600 mark, can dramatically cut a sky-high subprime auto loan APR and free up your monthly budget. We'll show real numbers, step-by-step refinancing tactics, and pitfalls to avoid so you can move from survival mode to financial control. First, we'll define the subprime auto loan trap. Next, we'll break down the math comparing 30% APR with 8.53% APR to show the savings. Then, we'll walk through a practical refinancing process. After that, we'll talk about how to vet lenders and understand loan-to-value. We'll also visualize the journey using diagrams, followed by a quick quiz to check understanding. Finally, we'll finish with an action plan and wrap up. To begin, subprime auto loans in the 500 credit score range often carry interest rates around 30%. This level of interest can turn even a modest car loan into a heavy monthly burden, with hundreds of dollars each month going to interest rather than principal. The controversial reality is that some initial high-rate lenders rely on borrowers not improving their credit or refinancing. However, if you have paid on time and your score climbs above 600, you can flip the script quickly. Now, let's compare two scenarios on a $20,000 loan over 60 months. At 29.99% APR, the monthly payment is approximately $647. The total paid over the loan term is roughly $38,816, and the interest cost alone is about $18,816. At 8.53% APR, the monthly payment drops to around $410 over the full term. That's approximately $24,624 total, and about $4,624 in interest. That's near $237 in monthly savings, and roughly $14,192 less interest over the life of the loan. Your exact results depend on remaining balance, the remaining term, and any fees. In some real-world cases, especially with term adjustments, the payment reduction can approach half. We'll discuss how to capture savings without unnecessarily extending your debt. Before moving on, here's a numeric snapshot. On a $20,000 60-month loan, the estimated monthly payment at 29.99% APR is about $647, while at 8.53% APR, it's about $410. Over the full term, that's roughly $38,816 versus $24,624 total, respectively. The difference in total interest is about $18,816 at the higher rate versus around $4,624 at the lower rate. These are illustrative estimates and will vary with your exact balance, remaining term, and timing of the refinance. Next, a quick but important disclaimer. This content is educational and not financial advice. Your rates, terms, fees, and approval outcomes will vary based on your credit profile, lender policies, locations, and market conditions. Always read your loan agreement carefully and, when appropriate, consult a qualified financial professional. Moving forward, here's a practical refinancing process. First, check your credit across all three bureaus and correct any errors. Crossing the 600 threshold is often a pivotal point. Second, make sure your payment history shows consistent on-time behavior for at least 6 to 12 months. Third, determine your car's current market value using reputable sources to estimate your loan-to-value. Fourth, request a 10-day payoff quote from your existing lender so you know the exact balance to clear. Fifth, shop 3 to 5 offers and prioritize local credit unions, which frequently offer competitive rates. Sixth, compare more than just the monthly payment. Look at APR, fees, term length, and total interest. Seventh, avoid stretching the term longer than necessary, because it can increase total interest even if the monthly payment drops. Finally, once you've chosen the best offer, lock it in and complete the payoff and retitling process. As we continue, let's clarify loan-to-value, or LTV. It equals your loan balance divided by your vehicle's current market value. For instance, if you owe $20,000 and your car is worth $18,000, your LTV is roughly 111%. Many refinance lenders prefer LTV at or below about 100 to 110%. If you're underwater, you may face stricter terms, a requirement for cash at closing, or the need for a specialized program. To bring LTV into range, consider making a lump sum principal payment or waiting until regular payments and stable vehicle values lower your LTV. Next, let's compare what you want from a strong refinance lender versus red flags to avoid. Good lenders offer transparency on fees, clearly handle the payoff and title transfer, avoid prepayment penalties, have solid reviews that go beyond marketing, and provide responsive support. In contrast, be cautious of add-on junk fees, aggressive upselling of products you didn't request, bait-and-switch APRs after they run a hard inquiry, unclear title or payoff timelines, and pressure tactics to extend your term far beyond what you need. Now here's a decision map of the refinance journey. You begin by evaluating your credit score, with $600 being a helpful threshold. If you're below that, prioritize on-time payments for 3 to 6 months, dispute any reporting errors, and reduce credit utilization. If you're at or above 600, confirm you have at least 6 months of on-time auto payments. Next, check if your loan-to-value is at or under about 110%. If not, consider a lump sum principal payment, or wait until your regular payments reduce the balance. If LTV is acceptable, request a 10-day payoff from your current lender. Then shop 3 to 5 refinance offers with an emphasis on local credit unions. Compare APR, fees, term, and total interest. Then select the offer with the best overall value. Close the refinance and monitor your credit as on-time payments continue to build your profile. Importantly, if fees or an extended term eliminate your savings, exit and reassess. Quick knowledge check. Your credit score rose from 585 to 612, and you've made on-time payments for 8 months. What should you do next? Option A, apply with the first lender ad you see. Option B, shop 3 to 5 offers, giving priority to local credit unions, and compare APR, fees, term, and total interest. Option C, skip checking your loan-to-value and refinance immediately. Option D, extend your term as long as possible to cut the payment. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section. The correct answer is to shop 3 to 5 offers, prioritize local credit unions, and compare APR, fees, term, and total interest. This approach maximizes the chance of approval at a competitive rate and helps you avoid unnecessary fees or term extensions that can raise total interest. Here we visualize where your money goes. At 29.99% APR, a large portion of the total paid is interest, about $18,816 versus $20,000 of principal. At 8.53% APR, interest drops dramatically to around $4,624. These charts reinforce how a lower APR reallocates your payment toward principal instead of interest. Next, this timeline outlines a focused 30-day refinance sprint. In days 1 through 3, pull your credit and dispute any errors. During days 4 through 7, gather documents such as pay stubs, insurance proof, and registration. From days 8 to 14, shop 3 to 5 lenders with an emphasis on credit unions. Between days 15 and 20, submit applications and request a 10-day payoff. From days 21 to 25, compare offers across APR, fees, term, and total interest. Finally, in days 26 to 30, close on the refinance and set up autopay for consistent on-time payments. Before proceeding, use this quick checklist to compare offers. First, evaluate APR and aim for single digits if your profile allows. Second, compute total interest over the remaining term. Third, identify all fees including origination, title, state fees, and any add-ons. Fourth, compare the proposed term length to your remaining term to avoid unnecessary extensions. Fifth, confirm there is no prepayment penalty. Sixth, ensure you meet LTV requirements and determine if any cash at closing is needed. Finally, assess service quality, including how quickly they respond and how they handle payoff and title transfer. Finally, this sequence diagram shows the communication flow. You check your credit with the bureaus, request a 10-day payoff from your current lender, and apply for refinancing with a credit union. The credit union issues a conditional approval, and you provide required documents. The credit union then sends payoff funds to your current lender. Your current lender releases the lends or confirms the payoff, and the credit union sets up your new payment schedule with autopay. Second quiz. Which tactic best protects your long-term savings when refinancing? Option A, choose the longest term to minimize the monthly payment. Option B, focus only on APR and ignore fees. Option C, Ensure the new term is not unnecessarily longer than your remaining term and verify total interest. Option D. Skip local credit unions and apply with just one lender. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss it in the next section. The correct answer is to ensure the new term is not unnecessarily longer than your remaining term and verify total interest. While a lower APR is crucial, extending the term too far can increase total interest paid even as the monthly payment drops. Balancing APR, fees, and term is the best way to protect long-term savings. To summarize these tactics, remember that a consistent on-time payment streak and a credit score above 600 creates strong leverage for refinancing. Always shop multiple lenders and favor credit unions. Compare total interest paid, not just the monthly payment. Keep an eye on LTV, since being underwater can require cash at closing or special programs. Avoid extending your term longer than necessary. Finally, do not take on new debt or miss payments while your refinance is in process. As we wrap up, here's your action plan. First, check your credit reports, correct errors, and aim for a score of 600 or higher. Second, request a 10-day payoff and confirm your vehicle's value to estimate LTV. Third, shop 3 to 5 offers with a focus on credit unions. Fourth, compare APR, fees, terms, and total interest rather than just the monthly payment. Fifth, lock in savings without stretching your term. Lastly, set up autopay to maintain on-time payments and continue building your credit profile. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more content on smart money strategies. I'd love to hear your refinance wins or questions in the comments. Your experience can help others take action too.